I'm SycamoreOmega. Today I'm going to be talking about, for me at least, one of the most controversial, or at least one of the ships in Star Citizen I feel really conflicted about. When the Drake Dragonfly was announced, I tried to keep an open mind about the general concept of a Gravlev bike for planetary travel. I like the creativity and the inventiveness CIG was showing off with the concept, but the more I saw of the ship, the less I liked it. And when I heard it called by one of the developers, it might have been Chris Roberts, I'm not sure, they called it a space motorcycle. And at that point, I really didn't like it. Not that I have anything against the idea of a motorcycle in the game, but how the Dragonfly works is really not something I've bought into. I like the rovers and even the cyclone concepts and how they work, but something about the Dragonfly really has bothered me from the start. And then there was the price of this thing when it was announced. It was $35, and my initial pledge was $45. And I know in the big picture of Star Citizen pledges, $35 isn't a lot, but still, for what you're getting, I just felt like it was so much. The Dragonfly is what I consider in the game as disposable. They're small. They're most likely inexpensive things that I can trash, I can leave, I can sacrifice, and I'll do all of those things to get to the objective that I'm working for. They're like pistols and rifles in the game. I get them, I use them until they can't help me anymore, and then I move on. So when CIG was marketing the Dragonfly, I couldn't believe that they were offering them as a standalone. To me, it's barely a ship. It's more like a tool or a toy. My problem with it in the Star Citizen universe mostly revolves around the fact that they can be disconnected from gravity and used in space or far above planet surfaces. It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. It fills a role already covered by things like Merlins when it's used in that high altitude flight mode. If it was confined to the planet's surface, I would be okay with it and its inclusion, but I really like that the Star Citizen universe is a place where wheeled and tracked vehicles, like the new Nova tank, are still useful. I really hope we see more ground-based vehicles that are this type of rugged, physical-based propulsion. Star Citizen, it merges a dirty industrial world with the clean, sleek aesthetic of advanced technology. And the Dragonfly tries to be in both categories, but to me it fails in both, and it becomes a novelty that wears off quickly. All that being said, I think you can tell I didn't want to like the Dragonfly. But damn it, this thing, it can be fun sometimes. It introduces a level of chaos into the game that's manageable and fun. As much as I think a space motorcycle is stupid and the gameplay it creates, I mean, but it's dynamic and it's different and it's a good variety. I can see a squad of these things being a real problem for medium-sized ships without a maneuverable escort. It's a small target moving fast, and it can stay behind a larger ship for a while. This doesn't mean that I want to see space motorcycle gangs prowling around the verse, but I can see the use for them. While flying it on planet side, it reacts differently to each gravity force created by the various sized moons. On Daymar, it can be somewhat difficult as it bottoms out a lot, but on the lower gravity moons, it rides really smooth over the surfaces. This difference needs to be worked out, maybe trading speed for stability on higher gravity worlds, and it really offers a good stealth option to sneak up on an outpost or base to launch a pretty strong attack. While flying on planets, I think it shouldn't be allowed to leave the surface as much as it can. It just can fly up for as long as you want. It seems like CIG put so much time and effort into making the full-sized ships handled differently and realistically in the atmosphere, the Dragonfly just kind of breaks all this work that they've been doing. Maybe a good compromise would be that it can leave the surface, but for a limited time, creating a better opportunity to sneak up on an outpost from above. Another thing is how it transitions from flight mode to ground mode. There were times I didn't know what it was doing. Was I in flight mode? Was I in ground mode? I don't know, but I was crashing all over the place. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but it wasn't useful. The HUD on the Dragonfly is definitely its weakest point. There's no speed indication. There's no mode indication. There's no fuel reading. There's no throttle position, and the energy management panel is off the screen, and it's difficult to change without looking down and away from where you're driving the thing. The Dragonfly is a great size. You can see me in the video loading it in and out of a Constellation Aquila, which worked really great. I think any bugs that were in this process were more about the Aquila than the Dragonfly. And loading in space was very difficult, though. That took a lot of patience to get it to work right. But maybe it gives us a glimpse into what parking the Merlin back into the Connie might be like. It was doable. It wasn't that hard. I think that unloading the Dragonfly was a lot more difficult than loading it into the cargo bay. In space, I felt like it was able to move too fast for something that left a exposed rider. A little boosting and I was 50 plus kilometers away from my ship, and I had to dead reckon my way back to hopefully find my parking spot somewhere out there. The speed also felt too great while flying above planets and flight mode. In ground mode, the speed felt right, and I wouldn't change it except, like I said, give it more stability and higher gravity and trade some of the speed maybe. It goes back to filling a role already covered by most more robust and practical options like the Merlin and flight mode. Part of Star Citizen is realism, which I realize can be walking a tightrope when creating such a fantastical world. The Dragonfly just seems to break that, leaving a rider exposed to hold on, moving who knows how fast, thousands of meters up with no visible thruster or lift system. It just seems odd. Also, the rider should be punished for riding recklessly and be thrown off. Flipping endlessly while the rider acts like nothing is going on is weird after a while. It's fun, but it's weird after a while. The only time in 3.0 my Dragonfly received damage was when I was transitioning to ground mode from flight in a crash. All the other times the bike went flipping across a landscape after hitting a rock at the wrong moment. It never caused any issues. Another thing I hate is the future Harley startup sound. It's cheesy. We get it. It's a space motorcycle. It doesn't literally need to sound like an internal combustion motorcycle when you start it. In the end, the Dragonfly is fun, practical in certain situations, unrealistic but disposable, and it just becomes a novelty. I don't think it should have ever been offered as a standalone ship. Now it's available in a Drake bundle, and it should have always been that way. The Dragonfly will be used by a variety of people, but I doubt I'll ever find myself in the verse saying to myself, damn, I should have bought that Dragonfly back in concept. Maybe I would like that other color that I could have gotten when it was pledge. Plus, I would probably wreck it or lose it quickly if I needed it for a mission. I doubt Dragonflies will be hard to come by once the verse is live. The best thing this pledge did was allow players to upgrade Dragonflies with lifetime insurance into other ships carrying over the LTI. In the end, lowering operating expenses for larger ships, which I think for some people is pretty important. But this may present problems later on down the line. Hopefully not. So, what do you think about the Dragonfly? Agree or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe. Before I did this video, I had my first subscriber, so thank you whoever you are. I'm SycamoreOmega, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching today's video. Are you new to Star Citizen and are looking to get into the verse? Use the code above to get an extra 5,000 UEC added to your account when you sign up. See you again soon!